I call it BG 1.5. Siege is an interesting module. I mean, it is its standalone game. There's a lot of content. There's definitely a story. Absolutely no spoilers, but there should be some interesting tie-ins both to BG1 and being aware later as you move into BG2. So you definitely want to go through that narrative and experience it. But Siege is different in that you're dealing with, in my opinion, the creation of the game is able to take advantage of raw computing power. If we think about BG1 and BG2 at the time, you needed a decent amount of not only disk space, but computing power to be able to play it. And I remember playing on an older machine. I don't remember the CPU at the time, but there were a couple of points where like the spells would slow down. And then I do remember upgrading to an E-Machine Celeron. That's how old it is. And just it was so smooth. It was so amazing to play the game. So from that perspective, of course, now we're just a million years later and you've got more computing power in your pocket on your phone or your tablet. I think Siege wanted to create literally a siege, literally something epic, and throw down massive, massive amounts of characters and sprites and animations. Something that might have been imaged, right? Epic battles, epic combat might have been imaged or thought of in BG2 or BG1, but just was not possible to do. If we think about Baldur's Gate in BG1, there's a decent amount of NPCs and population in the city. To increase it more and animate them, could it have been possible at the time? Maybe not. So what this means, of course, yes, there's side quests. Yes, you're going to fight some classic D&D monsters, some of them very challenging for the party level, perhaps a little bit more challenging, but the game kind of assumes, look, you've been through BG1. We explored this in the previous Tactica. You're aware of party management. You're aware of clickies. You're aware of synergies, utilizing fighters and thieves and magic users and mages and things like that. But the primary thing of Siege at different points, it's a mass combat game. You are dealing with multiple enemies and opponents, literally potentially armies coming at you. So not only do you have to be able to maximize the use of your party, which you have, but for me, the number one thing is massive amounts of crowd control. Being able to understand incapacitation spells, being able to understand explosive things, being able to kite and draw off or engage just mobs and kind of hold them in place as you move around. It almost requires more of a wargaming approach or a small units tactics type approach at different points. That's the primary thing that I see needing to focus on, or else at certain points, 3 points in the game, no spoilers, you're going to get overwhelmed very, very fast.